These Hot Idiots is a podcast featuring our hosts, two full-grown adult men. Together, they watch teen drama and young adult-oriented television shows one episode at a time. These Hot Idiots is a comedy podcast and isn't meant to be taken as real criticism. This podcast uses adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the last episode of this podcast because we're gonna be fucking canceled. Oh my god.
Oh my god, tonight we are going to be very canceled on these Hot Idiots.
I'm sorry.
We will not explain why until we are well deep into the weeds of it. But you will know.
I want to get ahead of it by saying two things. First, I'm sorry. And second, Linkin Park's
You're
back.
welcome.
Go.
No, not you're welcome.
Linkin Park's back, yeah.
We're sorry, and also Linkin Park's back, yeah.
Linkin Park's back. Go listen to some Linkin Park after this.
Yeah. They got a new singer.
They got a new singer. It's a girl.
She's pretty good.
She's pretty good. It kind of feels like they're just not trying to copy what they did before. They're just kind of doing a new thing.
They're doing a new thing, but it's working out. It worked out. We listened to their new single,
which dropped an hour ago.
Yeah, the Empty Machine, which dropped an hour before we started recording, and it was pretty good.
And me and Mega Fighter sat down to watch some vampires, a show about vampires, except it's a movie.
A movie about vampires.
A movie about vampires and some other stuff that happened.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Mega and that's Ashe. I feel like you probably will have known us by now, but for anyone who's just jumping in on our Breaking Dawn Part 1 review.
I'm sorry, guys.
Welcome to These Hot Idiots, and also, holy shit, you picked a bad time to join.
Oh, fuck, man. You know what's going to happen, if we get popular?
People are gonna dig this up.
No, someone's gonna come back to this episode and just go yeah, these guys suck.
This is gonna be the call-out post-worthy episode.
This is the call-out. They're gonna have a call-out post about this, and they're not going to clip this part where I predict that someone's going to do a call-out post and ignore the fact that I feel like shit.
No, the apology and everything pre-warning will be taken away. Will be left out.
Cause fuck, man, I've made some real fucked up jokes in this, and I don't know how to resolve that.
We are probably not gonna be able to recover from this.
I'm not going to financially recover from this.
I will not financially recover from this. Alrighty.
Twilight Breaking Dawn, Part 1.
Part 1, yes.
The two-parter that nobody asked for.
The two-parter that could have just been a one-parter. Half of this movie is so useless.
I would say there was about a good third. It feels like they got to about 90 minutes and were like, yeah, but the Twilight movies have been 2 hours up to this point. With the half.
So we gotta have them be 2 hours.
So we gotta have them be 2 hours. Let's just have everyone stare at each other and I don't know, just edit in some flashbacks
and some montages.
Some montages of sex.
There's so many montages of various kinds. The pacing is just horrible. It goes for quite a while.
We start with Jacob angrily running out of the house and taking off his shirt.
I should note we have another new director for the movies.
Oh yeah.
For this movie, Bill Condon.
Who
previous notable works include the movie Chicago. He did Dreamgirls. And he will be directing the sequel, so we won't have to bring up any new directors. Also, he did the 2017 Beauty and the Beast remake.
Beauty and the Beast.
So,
where
a good
young woman who knows how to read falls in love with a swarm of bees in the shape of a man.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Oh God, he was also the writer for The Greatest Showman.
That sure was a thing.
That sure was a movie that happened.
You know what P.T. Barnum means? All the bad things he did cut out and then make it a musical.
Make it a musical.
and just exploiting all these people with like physical deformities for their freak
Good
show.
lord.
Fuck P.T. Barnum. I hope he sues us.
I'm glad he's dead, probably.
I'm glad he's dead.
He's been dead since 1891. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck you. Hey, P.T. Barnum, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Jacob takes off his shirt, and then there's like a letter in the rain that we were looking at, and it's an invitation to a wedding. And whose wedding is that? It's Bella's and Edward's wedding.
Yes, the invitation manages to stay surprisingly dry despite the fact that it is fucking like torrential downpour out here.
Maybe they like dipped it in wax just because they knew that Jacob's gonna read it in the rain because he's
and throw it down onto the ground.
Throw it on the ground like he just does
like
that.
Andy Samberg.
Like Andy Samberg.
Threw it on the ground.
It's not my wedding. I'm an adult.
I'm an adult.
This is a piece of paper, man.
My grandpa handed me a piece of paper and said, Jacob, it's an invitation.
Yeah, I'm saying,
and I threw it on the ground.
This isn't an invitation. This is a piece of paper.
Where do you think I am, Grandpa? Stupid?
This is exactly.
I'm an adult.
This is exactly what happens in the movie. Charlie gets the invitation. It's happening.
Yeah, Charlie gets one. Renee gets one. Renee also kind of hands it over to Phil. It's like, Phil, we got invited. My daughter's getting married
on this random beach that she's at. She's at a beach.
No, she is not at the beach during the wedding. She is in the Cullens' backyard.
Really?
Yeah, this is an outdoor wedding in their backyard.
Bella tries high heels with Alice, and she can't walk in them because did she never wear high heels before?
She's been breaking them in for 3 days, and is still not. I should have probably gone with a bigger size if she's still having to break them in 3 days
Twilight
in.
Saga, breaking in these high heels. Part
1.
Part 1. So they're hauling in these big wooden benches they have, and then there's just dudes hauling like CGI logs.
CGI logs.
Either CGI logs or like plastic logs that look like shit.
They're probably CGI. They would probably spend the money to
hey,
make
boss,
CGI
where do you
logs.
want me to put these logs?
For the CG log, boss.
Then she gets told to go home by Alice and get some rest because of the fucking wedding.
Because the wedding is tomorrow.
So Bella goes back in a montage and looks at stuff in her room and the dream catcher on her bed. And then Edward's there.
They were just there.
Then they spend a long time talking about feet. I think.
Because he wants to make sure he's looking out for cold feet. And she's like, mine are toasty raw. He's like, can I check?
Can I check your feet?
Can I check your feet?
Oh, I picked the wrong vampire.
I'm regretting this now.
They talk about his past, and like we just cut to a viewing of Bride of Frankenstein.
It is like because in his past he would show him he was a monster and he would
hunt other monsters, so he would mostly target like adulterers and rapists and
probably like rapists and killers that were just kind of lurking around.
Ne'er-do-wells and people who didn't do their taxes.
But like Bride of Frankenstein?
I guess
yeah, Son of Dracula was like 8 years later, but that would at least make more thematic sense.
Also, it keeps going from black and white to color and then back to black and white.
And it's like, if they had kept the flashback consistently in black and white, I would have at least respected it a little. But no.
They're having too much fun and this flashback, so they kiss, and then the other Cullens just like take turns jumping into the window.
I think it's just Emmett. Unless Jasper also jumps in.
I think Jasper did. Remember, he was a Confederate soldier. That was not brought up again.
That's the last time we will
was
have
that the
knowledge
first
of.
And last time that happened.
That's all we'll need to know about Jasper being a Confederate soldier was in the last movie.
The first thing that Bella asks Edward is if there's going to be strippers, and he says there's going to be bears and mountain lions. And she's like,
There's mountain lions and maybe a bear.
bear stripper?
Bear stripper. And we both went in very different directions on the joke of the
went
bear.
with the gay culture bear man who's like burly and hairy and very hirsute, and I was like, I want to see like a grizzly bear in like a bra.
Like a grizzly bear grinding it on a pole.
Yeah, but like not even like an anthropomorphized bear with like human proportions. No, it's
Just
just
an actual bear just standing up.
It's a bear going. "Rrr, rrr."
Just stands up and then fucking like drops it back.
Man, this bear's real good at busting it down.
This bear busting it down.
and all the cougars are going, "Rrr," but they're like clapping.
The mountain lions are just like growling around it, and the cubs are going, woo,
woo! And like Edward's got his shirt over his head, and fucking Emmett's just partying with a cougar.
Everyone's getting sloshed.
Everyone's getting sloshed, and like he's doing shots, and there's like a cougar bartender. He's like shaking he's shaking a cocktail shaker. Yeah,
he's the only one in the suit.
I'd like a Manhattan, please.
On the rocks, yeah.
They don't talk because they're cougars.
It's like the idea that Edward could still understand them, and he's like, on the rocks, yeah.
Yeah, on the rocks. But Bella's having a wedding dream, but she's wearing all white, and so is Edward, and everyone's wearing white. And she goes up to the wedding stand where the priest is, and then the Catholics show up.
It's the Volturi are standing there, all free of like the
like,
high-ranking members.
They got these faces like, oh, well, hey, we're here too, hey.
I mean, they are technically Roman Catholic, I assume. So
damn these Catholics! I didn't invite them.
So they
to
probably
my
are
wedding.
ordained. They probably are ordained to officiate a wedding.
Guess what, Bella? We're ordained minister. We can make your marriage official.
We will be officiating your marriage, but we can't do this Michael Sheen impression at all. We are bad at it.
I'm just going generic Italian.
You're just doing generic Italian. You just really want this to be Giuseppe.
Giuseppe's not Italian, I think. He's just.
No,
I mean, he's Italian American. I thought.
He's Italian American. He basically was Italian in the book.
Hey, we're at your wedding. You didn't say to wear white. We're wearing black.
And eventually, like during the whole thing, it's like Edward's got blood on his mouth, and Bella's got like blood all over her hand.
On her dress.
And it looks like ketchup.
It looks like ketchup. And then like all the people in the crowd are covered in blood and they're dead, except then they like switch so they're underneath in like a big pile of bodies.
Yeah, they're like pulling back the camera, showing that they're standing on a pile of corpses, which is admittedly the best visual we get out of this whole movie.
Yeah,
but
that was cool. It's too bad nothing happens from it.
all I'm just thinking is, oh god, there's ketchup everywhere.
Wait, when you spill one cup of Kool-Aid in a room with a white carpet.
Somebody just dropped a glass bottle of Heinz.
So, fuck, man. You know how much dry cleaning we gotta do after this?
The worst.
Bella wakes up in the place where you have dreams, and it's when someone's doing your makeup.
She's in there while Alice does her makeup, and then Rosalie comes in to help, and it's like, at this point, like, we're already like, this is like, two women are already struggling with doing Bella's makeup. I don't think Rosalie's going to be much help.
Like, they blended a bit, and they gave her some like lip gloss and some like eyeshadow a little bit. They didn't really give her the works. So why are all these people helping with their fucking makeup?
I know.
And I said,
like,
and I said, like, if two people can't do her makeup, like 3 people isn't going to be any better.
Yeah, no. And it only gets worse because eventually, like, Renee and Charlie come in, so it's like, man,
yeah, Charlie got invited to the fucking Cullen household, and they start talking in front of this, like, comically large pair of scissors that you need 2 hands to use, and I couldn't stop staring at it.
It's just there. There's just a just a giant pair of prop scissors in the background.
Yeah, because like, okay, so they got the graduation caps. We've covered that. There's a cross. Just
Mm.
there's a random cross like next to the stairwell, and then there's like
'Cause
that little weird black clay thing hanging on. And then there's these comically large pair of scissors
and
that
you need 2 hands to
that you
use.
need 2 hands to use. What are those for, the Cullen?
And also, why are we having this? Could you guys not have rented out a venue
You could
to
just
host?
like there's an event agency in my small town. You could just like call somebody to just have a fucking like have a just have a conversation there.
Well,
We
but
don't-
I'm talking about just having booking a venue for the wedding that isn't your house.
That isn't your house.
Like, genuinely, why
It
are we
doesn't
doing an
have to
outdoor
be a
wedding?
church.
Yeah. Like, there's no rules that say that vampires can't go into religious buildings in this universe.
No,
Fuck's
but
sakes, Carlisle's a practicing Christian.
they're in their backyard. Charlie's invited to the Cullen's house, and he's like, "Oh, that's weird. What are you
Oh,
guys-
there's all these graduation caps.
Yeah, what the hell, man?" By the way, he shaved his like beard. Now he's just got a mustache, and he looks real weird.
Well, he's got a baby face, but I am appreciative that he does have his mustache. That can never go away. He is always the mustache dad.
Mustache dad. Charlie gives her a hair clip.
Yeah, it's a hair clip that's kind of the shared. It's the something old and something blue of the tradition.
I don't know
And-
anything about wedding tradition.
It's like it's gifts you had to give the bride. It's something borrowed, something blue, something old, something new. And this is both the something old and something blue because they put sapphires on a hair clip that would belong to her grandmother.
So the mother
Renee.
swan, Renee. Sorry.
Oh, good.
She's got to wipe her face, and then Alice or like one of the other Cullens just pulls out a handkerchief with a whoosh sound. It's a vampire whooshing handkerchief sound.
Yes.
And all these people are here in one room, and it's so weird. And then they're at the wedding, and her friends are there. All the friends that are not important. Except
Yes,
for
and
Tyler.
I believe this
Except for Tyler's not there.
one, Tyler's still not there. He's just pretty much gone since Breaking Dawn. Genuinely, I'm starting to question, did Edward like do something to Tyler after Twilight? I said Breaking Dawn, New Moon. He hasn't been actually since Twilight. He's not been in these movies since. I'm starting to suspect that Edward did something here.
What did you do to Tyler?
What did you do to Tyler?
So they show her walking out, and it's kind of like a mossy, like meadow walkway thing. But then they show her dress like dragging on it, and I was just like, no.
See, she's gonna get like leaves, pine cones, dirt, grass stains.
Pine needles, sap, animal droppings.
That's what I was thinking of. Pine needles? Yeah, the little thin things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so much.
And then they
It's gonna
invited,
get on the back of that
then
dress,
they
on the bottom
invited-
of that dress.
and then they invited author of the host Stephanie Meyer. Like what?
And honor of the host, Stephanie Meyer. That's yes. And what looks to be behind her is like Lindsay Ellis cringing.
Lindsay Ellis, who's got a new video out on YouTube because no one went to Nebula.
No, 'cause, well, there's people using Nebula enough that it's still
Not
able
me.
to run. Not you.
I like Lindsay Ellis, but I don't like Lindsay Ellis enough to use some video platform with like 4 videos on it.
That's not fair. They got plenty of people on there.
Name
It's
3. Name 3 that isn't Lindsay Ellis.
H Bomber Guy, Time in the Shadows, FD Signifier, Lady Emily. I named 4. Also,
Yeah.
Big Sarah's Dead's also on there.
Yeah, but I don't think they do anything besides like post their old videos.
Isn't Jenny Nicholson also on there, or am I crazy?
I think Jenny Nicholson she just does blogs on her Patreon and then like will post like a 4-hour video once every 1 or 2 years.
I'm double checking this.
Subscribe to
I'm-
Jenny Nicholson on Patreon. We don't have a Patreon.
We don't have a Patreon, so subscribe to somebody entirely different.
Yeah, just subscribe to someone else. I don't care. I mean, subscribe to me too. It's cool.
Also, subscribe to us on YouTube. It's just we don't have a Patreon for you to join.
I
You
felt
cannot
like
become a member
I
of
felt
there.
like it would be weird to have a Patreon when we don't even have like 100 subscribers yet.
Yeah, we're worried. We want to build up a reliable fan base before we start bugging them for money.
Yeah, it'd be weird if we started begging for money. Bella is so happy. She is the Bella of the ball here, and she can't even
Oh.
crack a fucking smile for her own wedding.
So she's so bored looking.
Here Comes the Bride does not play.
They just play a song, and I don't know what it's called.
They just
and
play
I don't
a
really.
song, and the priest starts talking, and then the music drowns out, and they exchange vows at the same time, which is
They're like trading off parts of the vow, and it's like that's not how that works. You have to recite yourself.
And then they
your own
kiss,
vows.
and everyone in the crowd disappears.
And everyone disappears for a while, and then they come back.
And then this weird song comes on about a fat house cat.
There's like all these lines like American mouth, and now I'm a fat house cat. It's the most
so weird. And then everyone
just a
clapped.
weird ass song. Then everyone clapped, and then we have white people dancing.
We got white people dancing, and then Billy Black shows up to say Jacob wasn't there. And they introduce some other Cullens like Tanya and Kate, and they look.
They're not Cullens. They're like family friends. They're the Denali clan that have been brought up before.
Oh, like the clothing line.
They're the ones that live up in Alaska that Laurent was supposed to go with, but then he rejoined
we
Victoria.
Missed Laurent. It's like you killed Laurent, and it's like Laurent sucked.
Laurent sucked. He joined back up with Victoria
he joined back up with Victoria for no reason, and then got killed.
That's basically it.
And they go out to the front of the house, which the party isn't there, and they talk about how upset they are because they invited wolves to the party.
Yeah, that's part of what makes the Denali clan so upset, because they brought wolves, and wolves killed Laurent, even though Laurent's an asshole.
Laurent sucks. Then there's a bunch of awkward toasts from like various people at the reception.
It's never a good idea to have a scene where the audience feels awkward and uncomfortable. I assumed this was supposed to be comedy, but I was just kind of like, can we not have this?
They call Edward the hair, and that's how he got Bella, even though his hair was like slightly combed down for the wedding.
Yeah, and it's just like it's like Jessica comes up, Emmett does a toast, Charlie does a toast, Renee, I think.
Yeah.
I want to say Esme was there.
Esme was there. Edward hits him with a tight five. What's the deal with airline food?
The way he stood there, we started just pretending he's doing like cheap, weak ass stand up.
He's doing like weak ass stand up, and it's like, I've been practicing this little thing for a century.
I've had sex.
I've had sex. This is the part where you laugh.
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 That's what if I ever did like stand up, I would have one joke where the entire punchline is just I had sex, and then just a long pause, and then just tell the audience, laugh.
Jacob finally shows up, and he's like, he went to Canada without his clothes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot. There was a point where Charlie was saying how like
cops know things because I trust.
He's a cop and that he knows how to shoot. And I put it in my notes, unlike that bitch Forbes down in Mystic Falls.
Unlike that bitch Forbes down in Mystic Falls. Yeah, I'm a cop, not a sheriff. Sheriffs get to do whatever the fuck they want. They suck. Cops gotta have real training,
They're like, Forbes, I know how to kill someone without accidentally getting someone else killed.
Yeah, I wouldn't have shot Jeremy. I wouldn't. I watched that show.
You get a nice little friendly kind of reuniting of Bella and Jacob. They
But
do a
she's
little
also
dance
like,
together.
I want to say goodbye to you because you're no longer going to be human after this. And then Bella goes, oh, I'm not turning into a vampire yet. And he's like, what?
Like, yeah, we want to wait until after the honeymoon. And
After the honeymoon, and then I'm going to have a baby as a human. And then Jacob gets really upset. It's like, you're going to fuck.
I don't think she intends to do that. I think it's more about just she wants to fuck.
Well, no,
as a
yeah, she
human.
said she wants to fuck as a human. He's like, he'll kill you with his penis if you do that.
Yeah, Jacob gets just weirdly too invested in Bella's sex life.
Yeah, and then the Wolf Boys have to pull it off because he's upset.
Yeah,
They get
yeah,
Jacob gets mad and they wrestle. After this, after the wedding gets wrapped up, Edward walks Bella to his Volvo, and they start throwing rice at them. And Charlie just gets progressively more sad looking.
And also, we finally get to say goodbye to Bella's human friends. As I assume they will not be in the next movie.
Bye.
So I guess that'll be it for
you contributed
for
absolutely.
Eric.
You contributed absolutely nothing.
That'll be it for Eric, Jessica, Mike, Angela, Blanley, Sarah, Alejandro, Anne Maria, Brick, Cameron, Joe.
Fuck! You did it again!
I was wondering, when is he going to stop me? When is it going to stop?
She can't have that many friends.
You can't keep getting away with this.
I can't believe I fell for it again. Guys, I can't believe I fucking fell for it again. God damn it.
3 in a row, baby.
Shit. Why?
This fucking joke should not work as well. It's just me reading off.
There's several months between these. I forget you do it, and then you fucking do it.
It's just me reading off total drama characters and saying that they're Bella's human friends. He just lets me do it every time. And doesn't realize until I'm like 20 characters deep. I'm so glad you caught it, Joe, because the next character in the mutant maggots is also named Mike, and I didn't want to fucking
double Mike.
I didn't want to double Mike up. I should have. Then he would have been really fucking like, wait a second, you said Mike already.
Yeah, Bella's friends, Mike and Mike.
Yes.
So the wolves will woo while Bella drives away. Fuck, man.
It's over now, thankfully. I think this is really the end of the.
They go to Rio de Janeiro, and Jesus wants a hug.
Jesus wants a hug.
Jesus wants a hug.
Every time I see that statue in Rio, it always makes me think he just wants a hug.
And they go to Brazil, and they kind of wander the streets, and everyone seems like they're having a good time, but for some reason,
playing.
No one can crack a fucking smile.
There's music playing, people are dancing, people are making out, but Edward and Bella are just kind of standing around kind of awkwardly. They're not joining in.
We came to Brazil to stand awkwardly and kiss.
Stand awkwardly and kind of kiss, and it's just like, God, you're actually at Rio. Robert, Kristen, please, can you try a little bit here?
Please, they sent you to Brazil.
They paid you to go to Brazil. You probably got a few days of relaxing on the beaches in Rio.
You probably had a real nice vacation while you were there. Apparently, there was like this really big leak that happened around when this movie was being filmed. That they were seen in Brazil, and there was like a bunch of tabloids and shit.
Of like rumors spinning. He's like, are Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart together?
No.
No, they're just filming a movie in Rio de Janeiro.
They're filming a fucking movie, you stupid bitch. Imagine a tabloid article that like asks the question is like, oh, is Leonardo DiCaprio found someone to date? It's like, yeah, they're fucking 20. He's a 50-year-old fucking...
He's really mean.
50-year-old man. Like, what the fuck?
That's fucked up.
And that's the whole, like, the entire front page.
Like they don't even have the veneer of professionalism.
No. Are Edward and Are
Robert Pattinson,
and Kristen Stewart dating in Rio de Janeiro? No, they're fucking not, you idiot. This is like the 4th goddamn Twilight movie.
They're filming.
They're filming, you dumb fuck. I would buy that magazine.
I would buy that.
So, Esme got them an island. It's like a Cullen Island, kind of. Esme Island.
It is Isle Esme. It is apparently Carlisle bought an island for her
Yeah, Carlisle bought a fucking island
in fucking Rio.
in Rio de Janeiro, and we don't know how far it is, but I like joking that it was like a mile off the coast.
And just every so often, boat patrol would just show up. I don't even know if Brazil has like a boat patrol.
Bella starts second guessing herself, but then they get naked and they go to the beach and they're naked at the beach.
she does a whole like fucking bathroom routine.
Oh yeah, she
where
does a bathroom routine where like Alice gave her lots of sexy clothes. Wait, no, I accidentally scrolled down too far.
Yeah, we want to talk about the toothpaste that she wastes, and also she pours.
She could use some human minutes.
She poured she put the toothpaste on the tube, lost like a good chunk of toothpaste.
She globbed it, and then the glob fell off.
And then she rinsed the toothbrush.
And then she rinsed the toothbrush with the half off glob on it, making more toothpaste fall off. And then she brushed her teeth.
And then she brushed her teeth, then she shaved her legs, and then she ran through all this sexy underwear that Alice packed for her.
It's like, sexy underwear? I don't want to be sexy. Oh, man.
On my honeymoon?
On my honeymoon.
On a beautiful island off the coast of Rio de Janeiro?
Island off the coast of Rio de Janeiro.
And she even just like lies on the floor, like sits on the floor, head in her hands, like having a fucking having an anxiety attack or some shit.
Oh, I don't want to have sex on a private island in Rio de Janeiro. Why did I get here?
Why did I agree to this marriage?
Why did I waste all that toothpaste?
Why did I waste all that toothpaste? But eventually she just decides to not be a coward and just go out and go Denny skipping.
They're going to go Denny skipping. Edward's in the water, and then they're both in the water, and they look at each other, and they're so... They kiss, and they're such a good couple.
They're in so much love.
They're in so much love, and they have so many likes and interests.
Like sex.
Like being a vampire. And sex.
And sex, yeah. I think this does bring us to the sex scene.
And then they sex, and then Edward is breaking the bed with his vampire strength while they're having sex.
Which is entertaining, but this is also the point where, I'm usually of the opinion. I know there's a lot of discourse going on. About the necessity of sex scenes in film and television.
I heard it's a very millennial thing to extremely dislike sex scenes in media and TV shows and movies. Apparently, it's less of an issue with Gen X and maybe Gen Z. I feel like Gen Z might also dislike sex scenes. I don't know.
I think Gen Z it's more of a Gen Z thing, and maybe some of the late era millennials. I myself am perfectly fine with it if sex is a thing that happens.
Well, and it isn't like we watched The Room and we watched Tommy Wiseau and his weird wrinkly body fucking someone's belly button.
It's not bad.
This is very tame. You don't see a breast. You know.
And there is an importance to sex scenes in conveying concepts like intimacy or a change in the status quo of a relationship.
Status quo.
But at the same time, we could have honestly cut this scene and a lot of the scenes afterwards
of them. Well, how would you know if they sexed?
Maybe just one or something.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
I guess
Maybe
you
it's
could
just
shorthand and they start kissing and taking their clothes off, and then you cut.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty,
Yeah, and then you cut.
and that's them having sex. Like, I
You know,
guess,
get that CW sex going.
get that CW sex going. I'm not being a Puritan though. Like, I don't care if I see boobs. It's just
I don't care. It's just I feel like it's like, man, this is a 2-hour long movie. I don't feel like we needed this. This did not
the
advance the plot.
two-parter that no one asked for.
And we get a lot of montages of them just hanging out on the beach.
The montage makes it seem like it's a multi-day like tantric fuckfest.
And also they're playing chess.
And they also play chess, and we kept like oh, Uno.
Yeah, it's like king me, Uno, go fish. I should note there is a scene between the montages and the sex where it's like Bella's kind of covered in like bruises from like the act of like lovemaking.
On her wrist and on her shoulder.
Honestly, they're not nearly as bad as you'd think for someone with vampire strength.
I'm not saying like it's not domestic abuse. It's just rough sex. Like
it's rough sex,
and for being
and for being a vampire, they're mild bruises.
Yeah, I got bit by a dog recently, and I had bigger bruises than that.
Well, you got scratched by a dog.
I got scratched by a dog.
Yeah.
I did not die of rabies.
He's not died. He's not. We have pretty thoroughly ruled out rabies.
I have come across the side effect of finding a job.
Yes, he didn't get rabies, but he did get a job.
Yeah, I caught employment from that dog attacking me.
Damn dog.
I start next week, so it might affect when we record, but I'm gonna try and keep recording the same days.
We will figure out. Like how the recording
the good
like
thing is
watching.
It's part-time, so it's not going to be like I'm pressed for time all the time. It's just it'll be just
what days.
What day do I have available, pretty much.
Exactly.
And just we'll record like normal after that.
Mm-hmm.
Edward's got some regrets about this
because he doesn't want to hurt Bella, but it's like
he kind of suggests they stop having the fuck fest, and then she's like, "I've been so happy this whole time."
Can't you tell?
Can't you tell? And now I'm mad.
And it's like
making the same face.
Kristen Stewart is just not even trying with these movies.
I made a really off-color joke around this time. It's like, no wonder why she started dating a woman.
Yes, that the romantic chemistry between them is so bad. It's like, oh, no wonder she came out as bi.
It's like it's that one fart you shit yourself with. It just completely throws off the mood of the night.
And also, no wonder he became Batman.
And no wonder why he became Batman. Man, a makeout sesh so lacking chemistry that one becomes bi and the other becomes Batman. Now that's a legendary flop if I've ever heard of one.
That is a legendary flop of a relationship.
They're playing chess. They jump off a waterfall together, and then they jump off the waterfall again. They do it twice. And then they're in the woods.
I remember, you better hold on tight, Spider-Man. Yeah!
And then he looks at her butt while they're in bed, but he's like, oh, we got to make her modest. I got to cover her butt. And I'm like, from whom? You're at a fucking honeymoon.
You're on an island owned by your dad.
You're on an island owned by your dad, and there's no one else here except for the two mysterious Brazilians that show up later.
The two Brazilian housekeepers that occasionally show up and fix your bed.
Bella has a moment where like she gets like a head rush, and it's foreshadowing, but but then they kiss some more, and we're just like, how long have we been here?
Like, I think, was this the first time where I asked how long has this movie been going?
It's about an hour. It's about 2 hours, a little bit short of 2 hours.
It's 2 hours, but it was like, I think we were like about 40 minutes in with this shit.
We get a Charlie jump scare rarely.
Rare Charlie jump scare. I can't even remember what happens in his scene. I think he just talks to Jacob.
He just talks to Jacob, and then Jacob's with the rest of his wolf boys, and they're all playing soccer, and he's too busy sulking. and he's talking to Leah, I think.
Yeah, Leia.
And it's like,
About
it's
how
not
he's.
like you imprinted on Bella. You should just go find some girl to be with and be
She
happy.
basically tells him to go get laid.
Go get laid. Stop bitching. And then the leader of the pack, Sam, is like, "Come on, Jacob, we need a goalie.
We need a goalie.
We need a goalie because we're playing soccer."
Jacob's also musing on the fact that imprinting is shitty, and you have no control of your life after that. You belong to someone else,
Yeah,
and your
and
genes tell you you're happy about it.
yeah, I'm not gonna comment. Anyway, we meet their
Oh, we'll get to that.
housekeepers, Gustavo and the girl. I forgot
Karar, I believe.
Karar.
Yeah.
And they go into they get introduced to Bella, and then they go into the bedroom and they look at the broken bed, and I laughed.
Yes.
You did what?
And they just go to they're just taking parts of the bed out of the room.
I made a joke that I was gonna say. I made a joke that like Edward, when Bella wakes up covered in feathers, Edward's just like hammering nails and fixing the bed himself. But no, can't do that.
Drilling screws into the headboard to put it back together.
It's like just doing carpentry.
Just carpentry while she sleeps. Post-coitus. Post-coitus carpentry.
So the housekeepers are upset about Edward kissing Bella because folklore. They don't like vampires.
The folklore about they know he is some form of vampire, I guess. They're in on the secret, I don't know. And they think he is evil.
Edward has a note in a really bad handwriting that says he's out hunting. Bella looks in the fridge and she sees orange juice, cola, some purple stuff.
Yogurt brand yogurt.
Yogurt brand yogurt. Some Sunny D. But you know what's really calling to her right now? Some raw chicken.
And some peanut butter.
And some peanut butter.
There's something else in there, but it's mainly the chicken and peanut butter which we land on.
So she's eating peanut butter while cooking this bland-ass, unseasoned chicken.
She's gonna season with peanut butter, I guess.
Well, I mean, satay with peanut sauce is like a chicken peanut sauce dish, but that's Thai food, and I feel like
yeah, but also,
an 18-year-old wouldn't know about fucking satay with peanut sauce.
She's also not making a peanut sauce. She's just gonna smear the peanut butter on that.
Yeah, and she just eats this bland ass chicken, and it looks like it's undercooked, and then she's gotta go throw up. And I thought it was like, salmonella.
Yep, I just pretty much run with the jokes like, well, you got salmonella, Bella. I forgot I put.
Edward comes in and he grabs like her handbag. It's got standard issue stuff for like medicine,
Tampax,
some Tampax.
Well, it looks like hydrocortisone,
Vaseline,
Pepto.
Thing of Pepto-Bismol that's real good for nausea, heartburn, and indigestion.
And upset stomach.
Diarrhea.
Yay, Pepto-Bismol.
And she talks about how she's late. She's late for her period. And she's pregante.
She has become pregnant.
She is pregnant. How was Babby for? They call Alice, and she talks about how she threw up.
Yeah, Alice. No, Alice calls her, I believe.
Oh, Alice calls her.
Because she's starting to see all the visions, and it's like, what's going on? And then Carlisle gets on the line.
Edward, why didn't you wear a condom?
I get that he's a vampire, but idea.
Just you think he just pulls out like the sheepskin condoms they used to wear? Like, this is how I used to do it.
A monster condom for his magnum dong.
I'm not implying anything here. Edward uses his vampire abilities to pack real fast.
I thought you were gonna go for the joke already, but
no,
because this is around when it started for us.
And then this Brazilian housekeeper lady who was hired to clean and keep house just gets like weirdly aggressive and superstitious towards Edward, and like he keeps asking her to help him, even though like he's older than her and a vampire, and she's just some Brazilian girl.
Because, as we all know, if you are a person of color in a supernatural based, like, anything, you have to be this expert on the ancient, like, legends of your people.
This reminds me
That
of like there was that one M. Night Shyamalan movie where like they were caught in an elevator and like there
Oh,
was this
devil.
yeah, devil, and there was this one Spanish speaking girl who just like I think she was like she knew everything that was happening even though she wasn't part of the situation because you're like, no, the devil, oh diablo. Like,
Yeah, and it was like that was where like Butter Side Down or whatever it was started becoming a part of it.
yeah.
Man. Rough times.
I don't know why this random Brazilian housekeeper lady like I don't know why he's like asking her for
He's
advice because all she says is Bella should die.
You're going to die and you are a demon.
You're a
And
demon and fuck you. And why did I take this job?
I take this job. No, it's like I said, this is such a stereotype of just like person who is a non-white who is like of some sort of culture that we don't really research all that well, but is a super expert and what they'll have like some sort of like they'll have a solution or they'll know what the fuck
I just
like
know
what
what's
the fuck
happening.
the problem is.
I
Yeah,
just-
they just know what's happening.
magically
Magic.
knows.
They just know what the hell's happening to Bella.
Why is she a housekeeper? So they're
Yeah, I
getting
don't
ready
know.
to fly back to the United States. They're in customs, and Bella calls Rosalie. Then Charlie shows up to talk to Jacob back in Washington. And Jacob goes to the Cullens, and they reveal that like Bella, she lied to her dad that she was sick and needs to be like held in Rio de Janeiro for a couple of weeks, but she's actually at the Cullens.
Doesn't the lie eventually become she has to go to like a medical facility in Switzerland?
Later, yes.
That's later, okay.
And she's like she's already got like the pregnant belly, like 4 or 5 months
Got
pregnant.
the pregnant belly, and she's starting to waste away.
And she's starting to waste away. And then they talk about how like no thing can puncture her womb.
Nothing can actually break through her womb because the baby, the fetus, fetus. Let's say it's a fetus at this point.
The fetus is blocking the bullets like Neo,
like Superman.
like Superman, just
Yeah, it's shielding around. It's creating kind of a shield around itself that's blocking everything out.
How?
And I don't get it. And God, we are gonna get to the fucking medical science nightmare of this movie later. But yeah,
the baby's deflecting bullets, and they're like, a baby doesn't normally do this. It doesn't like sap the life of its mother.
And yeah, this is where it becomes like
Bella's plan is to have the baby and then turn into a vampire right before she dies. Just
bring the baby to term, and at the last minute, be sired.
And then, like, everyone's like, that's fucking stupid.
That's fucking stupid. Not to say that their solutions are any better, but we'll get to those.
Jacob, they bring Jacob because they want him to give her the talk, whatever that is. Pretty much tell her, like, hey, this is stupid. You got to figure out some way to terminate this pregnancy. I don't care if it's like, you got to have one of the vampires punch you in the gut or something.
Yes, this became the recurring joke. This is our cancellation upon us.
I'm sorry.
Where throughout it, we would just come to points where we would just like imitate a character going like, yeah, and just punching Bella in the stomach.
Look, man, if it saves her, I mean, technically.
It possibly could save her. However, now that you mention the shield,
the baby shield, but how can a baby be stronger than a fully grown vampire
or a werewolf? You're right.
Or a werewolf.
That's what. Let's get everybody in on the cancellation in the comments down below. Could the baby shield prevent a miscarriage?
Oh my god.
Leave your answer down below.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry. And now you're going to be a part of it.
I don't pick what my brain thinks.
I'm the one who I think started this horrible train.
Uh,
So
Jacob
this time
can't.
it's on me.
Jacob asks her, "What was the point of like getting with me and Edward
And
if you're just
loving
going
me,
to
loving him,
if
all
you're
of
just
this. If
going
you're
to let
just
a vampire like fucking alien
like this,
chest burst out of you and then die? It's a boy.
it was the worst gender reveal party.
The fucking yes, the alien themed gender reveal.
Alien gender reveal where it just
Is it a
burst out
pink
of the
chest
mother's
burster
stomach.
or a blue one?
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Also, yeah, this is around where the movie starts really dropping some like pro-life stuff on us, and I'm just like,
Yeah, they're sitting in this room and like they're talking about how the fetus is hurting her, and then Rosalie's just like, "It's a baby."
it's just say baby, it's
Just
a
say
baby.
You want to kill a baby?
And it's like this baby, Rosalie, is absolutely like ravaging its mother from within.
Okay, look, me and Megafighter here are both pro-life, and like if a pregnancy.
Wait, are we both pro-life?
Wait, no, we're both. Sorry,
We're both pro-choice.
We're pro-choice. It's just we're both pro-choice. And you know, if the so there's the metaphor of a pregnancy that can kill you, in terms of like it could be like an ectopic pregnancy. The lining of your womb can burst and actually cause sepsis in your bloodstream. That happened to my sister, and she had to be on on dialysis for a couple of days. But like,
it's a dangerous game.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong, and if a mother doesn't feel like she's safe, then I feel like she has the right to terminate that pregnancy.
This should absolutely be a point of discussion.
But
it's just
that like her ribs are broken.
This baby is breaking her ribs and is sucking her dry.
Sucking her blood, and she's like this emaciated husk, and it's literally killing her and like ripping her guts from within, especially when it gives birth. And it's like, I think of this like, okay, so let's say you're pro-life, not us, we're pro-choice. I misspoke. But like, I feel like this is the most literal sense that you could go, okay, maybe we should probably save the mother's life.
I mean, especially since this is a vampire baby, so.
And this is a vampire baby, and the werewolves are real mad at us.
Yes, they're really upset, and they're like, her choice affects us all. And it's
her choice affects us all.
And it's like, God, we are really hammering in on this pro-life message here, guys.
But because it's Bella Swan, and this is written by Stephanie Meyer, she wants to put the baby to term, even though it'll be the most painful thing she'll ever experience in her entire life.
That could possibly kill her.
That could possibly kill her. And you don't even know if the baby's gonna be like good.
This baby is like killing you as we speak because it wants to eat.
It's playing jump rope with your intestines right now, and it wants blood.
It is xylophoning your ribs, and it is not very good at it.
Like the Grim from Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Exactly.
And you're cool with it.
You're just fine with that.
Couldn't even have like a surrogate kid and have you and Edward raise it. No, I want my insides torn apart by a vampire baby.
You know what's crazy is I think that's actually something that was in the book where the plan was they were going to terminate this kid and then let Jacob be a surrogate dad. And Bella was like, "Fuck that."
I would be more okay with that.
Like that was an arrangement that Edward and Jacob had come with, and Bella was like, "Fuck that! No, I want
it's very reasonable.
It's a pretty reasonable option, honestly.
I'm not one of those weird fucking bloodline people. Why can't you just have a child to love and raise that just
that won't kill you from the inside?
That won't kill you from the inside, and it's just a little stinky doggy boy. Like,
it'll just be a little stinky dog boy.
Like, it's a much safer option. It's not like Jacob's going to be mad about it, or you. Like, as long as you love it like your kid, it's your kid.
Yeah.
But Jake, the baby's deflecting bullet. Jacob gets so mad that he explodes his clothes and throws his bike.
He throws his bike and then he just runs out of the forces, like explodes out of his clothes because he didn't bring like a spare or anything. I guess he did. I don't know.
So he starts running through the woods, and then other wolves run through the woods towards him, and you can hear the ADR voices of all the wolves just going, "Hey, hey, 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 hey."
Jake. Like I was joking that Ash needs to like isolate that audio and then make that his like alarm on his phone.
If you want me to wake up to an anxiety attack, also thanks for saying my fucking legal name on the podcast.
It's probably on the Spotify.
True.
What are you talking about? It's probably on the Spotify that we post these episodes on.
Legal birth name.
This is the second time you've complained about government names on a podcast where you put your government name.
I'm Ash, goddammit.
You never call yourself that during the intro.
I forgot.
You keep
I was
forgetting.
too busy thinking about punching a baby.
Not punching a baby, punching Bella in the stomach. There's a distinction.
I'm just saying, if you force a miscarriage, all this problem would be resolved. Please stay. Please stay.
fucking, it's gonna be like the thing that everyone quotes.
Please stay.
Not the please stay, but you know.
A pro-choice. Not like that.
Not like that.
So they have the most fucking like young adult like like warrior cats ass conversation.
It's so warrior cats. I've never read them, but this is I imagine what it's like, where it's just like weird psychic talking.
They're like weird psychic talking, but they're also like growling and barking with like ADR talking over it, and they're like there's the one alpha wolf on the top, and he's like, I'm the captain.
I'm the alpha. You will obey me. And it's just like, and he's trying to like use his
like,
alpha
no,
powers.
I'm the son of someone black. I forgot.
He's the great grandson of Ephraim Black and the grandson of the chief.
And the grandson.
And that makes him more powerful than the current alpha, which
I'm alpha-er than you.
Which is weird because he rejected the position of alpha, but fuck it.
If you declined being alpha, you're not the alpha.
and that allows him to break off from the pack and run away.
And then the other wolves, God, I just have so much secondhand embarrassment.
And then Jacob's like alone and he's got clothes on because I guess he just
because they just regenerated and Seth's there, the little dude from the last movie.
Yeah, the little guy from the last movie who's cool with the Cullens.
You told me that like, they were wolves in this scene in the book.
In the book, I read the book like a few months ago just because after we finished the Eclipse review, I just wanted like I gotta finish Breaking Dawn. I gotta finish the books. I must conquer this dragon that has long been like around me.
What a shitty dragon.
I'd read every Twilight book besides Breaking Dawn.
Did you even read like the other books?
I told you. I think I mentioned it during the Eclipse video.
Yeah, you tried Midnight Sun, I think.
I had to audiobook Midnight Sun. I had to audiobook The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. I read Life and Death. I have not read The Host because that's not a Twilight thing.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh, God.
So... Inside baseball here, even though you work with me.
You keep using inside baseball like this.
No, but like I'm gonna play. My plan is we do the fucking Twilight movies and then we start Divergent.
Oh yeah, that's right, Divergent. Unless that Midnight Sun animated series comes out earlier.
Yeah, unless you want to do The Host.
No, I think we will do Divergent next because
girl different.
Oh my God.
We'll talk about more than one emotion.
She has more than one emotional state. God, we gotta
Wow.
remember. Wow.
I've never seen that in a teenage girl before.
Oh my God. Divergent's so dumb. Where the fuck were we again? Oh yeah.
Seth's
So
here.
in the
Seth's
book, they were
here,
wolves.
and Jacob tells him to fuck off.
Yeah, in the book, they were wolves. I assume they didn't want to do another run of like wolf CGI. They were probably straining the budget, so they had to. So they switched them to being humans. Leia also shows up.
Yeah, they're talking about what they want to do as a plan, but Jacob doesn't want them. He wants to be alone. He wants to be a lone wolf.
And Seth's turning into a total Jeremy here.
Why won't you let me help? I don't get it.
He's such a little whiny bud, and he was fine in the last movie, but his direction here is very whiny and very annoying.
The wolves a woo, and they might have found Jacob, but Jacob tells Leia to fuck off, and then goes and warns Edward that the wolves are going to attack.
Yeah, and Seth goes with him because he's just kind of here.
They also talk about how, like, now that they can't hear the other wolves' minds because they're not part of the pack anymore, and it's like, is the wolf pack like a perpetual Discord call? And you just go and you leave the chat. And you just
would I be able to somehow make an imprinting equals Discord moderator joke here that would work, or should we save that bullet for later?
I don't know. But the thing is, Leah's desperate to get laid because she's tired of hearing the shirtless boys.
She's tired of hearing the shirtless boys and Sam being all judgy about her being his ex.
And then Edward just starts aggressively searching Yahoo.com.
He starts aggressively searching Yahoo for like works about immortal children because he's trying to figure out, is this a baby and a mortal child?
And then he falls down a rabbit hole of like a bunch of weird unrelated shit.
It's supposed to be like violent imagery of children and vampires and blood and eating and all sorts of violence.
Yeah, but then there's Saturn devouring his sons.
And then there's Saturn. There's the classic picture, Saturn devouring his son. The classic painting, Saturn devouring his son.
You
all
know what it is. Google it, and you'll know. You've seen it. You've seen it before.
You've seen it somewhere. You've probably seen it in this movie. It's the classic, like, the Roman depiction of the Greek god Cronus eating his children in order to prevent them from taking over when they get older.
So Edward comes to the conclusion he's got to eat the baby.
That's where we went when that's like, if this baby kills you, I'm gonna go Saturn on its ass.
I'm gonna eat it.
I am going to devour my son, just like Cronus.
So yeah, Carlisle diagnoses Bella with big mean old baby syndrome, and that baby is just fucking.
The baby's growing at a rapid rate. I think they talk about the fact that it's growing at a rapid rate.
And it's Mike Tysoning her insides. Like,
it is Mike Tysoning her insides.
It is the fetus is deletusing Bella's inside.
Oh my God.
And Bella just insists it's fine.
It's fine. Well, I'll turn at the last minute. It'll work. This is totally a good plan.
Hear me out. This will work. And Edward gets pissed. Like, you're just and it's like, even if I die, you'll still have part of me because my daughter or son, you can have.
Yeah.
And Edward just goes off and just goes, "Why the fuck would I want you to die, Bella?"
How could I love it after that? And it's like this is actually Robert Pattinson bothering to emote for once,
he's acting. Oh my
God!
He's
acting now, and it's actually kind of surprising. A rare moment in this movie where Robert Pattinson acts.
Why didn't you guys talk about this before you fucked?
You really should have worn a condom, Edward. Come on, like, you're telling me you haven't bought of any sort of like contraceptive.
The vampire sperm is too powerful for the condom. It just shoots right through it because it has the whoosh speed, but with semen.
Did you not have like an after morning pill prepared?
Yeah, that would do it. It's not even an abortion at that point. It's just like, it's the thing that just stops your eggs from being like, it stops the sperm from like gestating in the egg.
Yeah, it has to be able to stop vampire sperm, right?
It's-
Please do
please-
not inform me that there is lore countering
is
this
there
information.
vampire sperm lore? Email it to us at no.com.
Leave a comment down below after determining whether or not the baby shield could prevent a miscarriage.
Would the baby shield prevent a miscarriage? Also, how strong is vampire sperm?
How strong is vampire sperm? Can vampire sperm stop contraceptives?
We get another sad montage, including the pic I'm going to use for this episode, where it goes cold while someone's checking how hot some water is.
Rosalie's checking the temperature on like a bathtub water, like the bathtub faucet, and it just says cold.
How's the water, Rosalie? Cold.
Oh.
Maybe it should be warm,
But not hot.
but not hot. Man, Bella is so thin now. She's like her ribs and shoulder blades are showing, and man, this salmonella is really intense.
Alright, this is some intense salmonella. I
Everyone's
gotta say,
watching-
it is pretty good,
also,
like makeup work though.
Everyone's watching football.
Everyone's watching. It's USC versus Washington. It's college bowl time.
Yeah.
It's the West Conference.
Look, man, just because Bella's dying from like a weird demon that's eating her insides doesn't mean that we can't enjoy some college football.
They're 0-0 at this point, but you know they might have picked up.
It's the second quarter, man.
The second quarter, you know.
That is a strong D versus a strong D.
Yeah, exactly.
Or either that or both the offense sucks.
I'd believe strong defense on both ends.
So Edward comes in and like he reveals that the baby can talk to him.
It's communicating with him.
And it's
Also,
like,
I
I be thirsty, dude.
I do want to appreciate the makeup work or whatever special effects they did to make
Yeah,
Kristen Stewart look so like
gaunt.
skeletal.
She's gaunt. Like she's
She is
got
gaunt.
dark bags under her eyes. She's got like sucked in cheeks.
Yeah, it is really well done, even especially just like on the body where it's just like she looks like Christian Bale in The Machinist almost.
Yeah, like they did a good job with that. They made her look really thin, though she was pretty normal weight.
Like,
for
She was normal weight, but to make her look like as gaunt as they needed to, that's some impressive work. I don't know how they pulled it off. It was
the
just
fetus,
like
so the fetus is thirsty. And this entire family of centuries-old vampires didn't think to give them some blood.
until fucking like Jacob makes a joke. It's like, maybe it's looking for something to sink its teeth into. It's like this is what fucking gets the gears turning for you assholes.
You guys are idiots.
This baby was conceived by the sperm of a vampire. Did you not think that there was the
That it's a
distinct
vampire.
possibility that it's a vampire?
We're not gonna even use a ghoul because I think it's just like a full vampire.
It would be either a full vampire or some form of Dampier.
But fucking Carlisle, the doctor,
The doctor.
is talking with them in a room with a fucking IV in it.
There's an IV in it, and then their immediate plan to
Their plan
give Bella the
is
blood
to empty the blood bags into a big gulp cup
to a big gold cup and have her take sippies.
and have her take sippy instead of using the fucking IV bag.
There's an IV bag with saline in it. They could just take the saline
Wait,
bag out.
the blood bags are already in bags, so you just need to hook up an IV.
You just need to hook it up to the IV and just let it go in. And it's like, oh, but it's the fastest way is if we have it go for her stomach.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't. There are so many reasons why this wouldn't actually make sense.
Acid.
Acid, which will break down all the actual like nutrients and components that the baby would need.
Hemoglobin gone, like plasma gone. Honestly, like it would just be a bunch of like little pieces of copper platelets and and like dead platelets and like dead blood cells because the acid because your stomach, which is lined with I think it's like hydrolonic acid or something like that.
Yeah.
is so strong that it needs a lining on the outside, because if it leaked into your body, it would eat everything in your body.
And here's the thing, even if there was anything remaining of the blood after the acid got to it, you know what would happen then? That shit would get thrown up. Because you actually can't drink blood in real life, because your body would reject it.
Well, it's either your body would reject it, or if you manage to keep it down, it would still need to absorb through the lining of your intestines and then into your bloodstream and then into your womb.
Instead of, say, just going from a needle in
From
your
a
arm,
needle in your arm, through your bloodstream, and into your fucking uterus.
straight to the baby, because it seems like the baby is just draining her blood directly.
The baby's blood is just your blood. Your womb is just your blood.
So this is not the fastest way to get the blood to the baby. The fastest way is the time and tested method in which we can transfuse blood.
Transfusion!
Stick a goddamn needle in her and be done with it. She'd probably come out better.
But it works.
It works somehow.
For some fucking reason, it works.
For some fucking reason, it works.
It works because the plot needed it to work.
The plot needed to work, but
if you want this drinking blood thing, but you want it to actually make sense, you can always butt chug the blood, just stick it up your keister.
That probably would get it more directly to her than the stomach.
It absorbs faster through the lining of your intestines and doesn't have to get through your stomach acid first.
Yeah. But still, just fucking stick a needle in her and be done with it. Carlisle, you have been a doctor for centuries.
So instead of hunting for their own blood, they're giving it all to Bella. So that means they're weaker.
Yeah, they don't drink human blood anyway. They're just grabbing O-negative blood bags that a doctor just has around the house.
Jacob's stealing them, I think.
Jacob might be. I don't know if Jacob's stealing them. I thought Carlisle just had a supply that he keeps in his house, which
one for me and one for the hospital. One for me.
It's all sorts of not how that would happen, but I'm willing to fudge it with vampires. It's probably discarded blood, which is not very useful for humans, but probably is great for vampires.
Old blood might still be good for vampires.
Old blood might still work for vampires. It'll probably still have a few of the necessary components that they'll chug down on.
Jacob is there, and they're in the woods, and I think some of the wolves attack some of the Cullens. It was too dark to tell.
All I remember is that I think Emmett just fucking clotheslines one of them.
The wolves knock someone down a hill, and when they double team him, just fucking hit him. He fucking clotheslines the wolves.
Yeah, Emmett, I think, yeah.
And Jacob tries to plead to the other werewolves to take back Sam and Leah, or Seth and Leah, because he can't stand them.
Get them off of my ass, please.
But it's actually a ruse or something.
Yeah.
A ruse for
it turns
what?
out, yeah, that's...
I don't know.
They got played. You played us, and then they run off. I don't know.
They're back at the house, at the Cullens' house, and Rosalie's talking with Bella about names for the kid. And
oh boy.
If it's a boy, it's EJ, as in Edward Jacob, which would make more sense if our fucking idea of just Jacob having the kid and then Edward raising it.
Which would. Yeah.
And then her other idea for a girl is combining Renee and Esme's name into Renesmee.
These names fucking suck.
These names suck.
I'm with Rosalie on this. These names fucking suck.
These names suck.
I remember Jacob was just like, oh man, it's Rosalie doesn't like them, then I'm on board because he's being a little petty bitch. And they have banter throughout this book, as I recall, him and Rosalie.
And then the babby awakens and she falls backwards in a weird way, and then the cup drops, and then it splits upward in half.
It splits upward in half. It was just wow, how flimsy was this fucking cup?
And she's in labor, and Carlisle's not fucking there. So Rosalie gets forced to do it, and she like tries to make a cesarean section by cutting up above where the entry is, and then she gets vampire like ooh blood, and it's like you, god damn it, you guys
You
suck.
guys have had centuries, decades at least, of fucking like resistance training, and it all falls apart the second. I know the idea is that Bella has really tasty blood. I think that's only for Edward though, but
Nummy.
that Bella has really tasty
Well, there
blood
was
or
that
something.
one
But
time with the salad.
oh yeah, but it's like, goddamn,
You're
you guys
giving her
like.
a cesarean section.
Here's the thing. That's Jasper's thing was supposed to be that he has very little control over himself. Like Rosalie should have way better self-control here. What the fuck?
So there's a bunch of crunchy, gooey noises because that baby's tearing up some shit on the inside. And, Edward's like, it's a Renesmee. And then we kept joking about they would lift the baby and it's covered in peanut butter.
Oh yeah, because this baby is like smeared with blood, and it just started making us think of that one Vine where it's like the sister like
Does it
smearing.
feel good?
Yeah.
Ah.
It was the Vine of like the sister like smearing her baby brother in peanut butter.
Because babies are they don't care.
Babies don't care and kids are stupid.
Yeah,
so
exactly. It's funny.
It's just like he is just absolutely like smeared and asked if it feels good, and he just goes, ah.
And she's dead. Bella's dead.
Bella's dead. Also, like during this, the editing on this fucking like C-section scene is so terrible. Like this should be a really intense, like good tinged horror kind of thing, but it's just like constantly like I don't even know how to describe like the fucking visuals going on here.
I would say it was half a horror montage and then like half what you would see in like a YouTube poop.
Yeah. And like this is a scene where
you start seeing like CDI Zelda in like some of the flesh. This piece is what all true warriors strive for.
This is also where the infamous like the C-section with the teeth happens. Like
the T
like
section.
Edward has to complete the cesarean section by using his fangs.
Is that what that was?
Yes.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
I know. That's why he's got a bloody mouth afterwards.
Sorry, I just love eating pussy.
That's not where. That's not.
Please stay. Please stay.
Oh, we are so canceled.
I'm sorry. Come back.
We're losing our one commenter.
I'm sorry, our one commenter. Come back. I'm sorry. I've had such a good time with the Vampire Diaries, and then once every blue moon, I have to suffer.
We get Twilight.
I have to suffer. Why was this my suggestion?
Why did I come up with this whole idea?
Why did I come up with the season breaks? Oh God. We could be in fucking episode 4 right now of like Vampire Diaries season 3, but no, we're talking about Edward eating a vagina.
Edward biting his way into ripping a baby out of his wife.
That's what we are right now.
That's where we are here, folks.
God.
Okay, I don't even remember like anything from around this.
Edward has a tube of vampire venom because vampires have venom.
It's like he's got like a fucking syringe full of his own venom that he just like slams right into her chest and just pushes
and then
down in.
Gives her probably the worst CPR I've ever seen.
He is nowhere near the rhythm of Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
He is slow. He's on her breastbone when you should be pushing on her diaphragm. Like
he's breaking no ribs here, and I know she's already gotten a few.
Renesmee helped you, Edward. Break the rest of those ribs and start pushing.
And come on now, fuck it, you gotta go into this like, come on, ha 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 ha, staying alive, staying alive, ha ha.
It is the perfect BPM to do your fucking CPR to, but no, you're going slow and you're pushing on her boobs. That's not
pushing on her boobs, and you're just like, come on, Bella, come on, Bella. It's just like, oh
Bella.
My god.
He also bites her in other places to get more teeth juice into her.
Just spit more venom into her, and it's kind of getting weird here.
Stand
Kinda-
alive.
like, and we're also just laughing at like they're doing like visual effects of the venom going through her system, and
Jacob
we're
goes,
just going.
Jacob goes outside to cry, and then we cut to like an internal of the vampire blood affecting her, like it was the
Yeah, the
opening
venom.
of Mass Effect 2.
And we're just going brain blast.
Brain blast.
Brain blast. It's not even her brain. It's mostly like her heart and her veins and her like blood cells. But we're just going brain blast.
They cleaned up that baby real quick.
Yeah, they got the baby all nice and cleaned up.
Sam tells Billy Black that the wolves are going to war, and he can't because he's in a wheelchair. He can't stop them. The only person who's a doctor left. What a fucking bunch of bullshit.
Oh my god.
So Jacob marches into the room with the cleaned up Renesmee, and then things happen.
Oh no. Yeah. Oh yeah. Rosalie takes Renesmee when she's all bloody and needs to be cleaned up because she can handle it because it's a baby. It's but yeah.
This isn't
Jacob's
blood. This is a baby.
Then this is where it's like, oh, there's a lot. Jacob comes in the room. He's all sad and angry.
And he looks at Renesmee, the baby, and Rosalie.
Well, yeah, Rosalie is like sitting in a chair, she's holding, going like, hey,
and then the baby has like the older actress's face on their face.
Oh god, the CGI baby.
A CGI baby with the grown-up actor, I think, because that was the girl we saw in the Vision, I think.
Oh yeah, the girl in the Vision.
You know that when a baby's born, it's a little squinty potato. I've told you
that.
It
is. We have always described babies as looking like a little baked potato creature.
Like their eyes are shut and their mouth is squishy and they got a wrinkly ass face.
That is what babies look like when they are fresh out the womb. And they look like that for a while. They look like little lumpy potatoes.
So he looks at the baby and the baby looks back, and then we go into Jacob's mind palace and we see him like frolicking with this girl, and the girl looks at him and they smile, and the description of what imprinting was like plays over the
through
background.
his head, and
then the woman that he's looking at gets younger and younger, and then her face turns into the baby.
Oh god, yeah, she does. Because we see the baby grow up into the adult woman and then revert back to various like states of adolescence and childhood.
And then Jacob mentally is just like, I'm gonna fuck that baby.
It is. Oh my god, this is the moment I think that really sunk this series for people.
Jacob imprinted onto a baby.
This baby is like barely an hour old.
And he's like, I gotta fuck this baby.
It is like, I will. It's supposed to be like, I will protect you and be your friend.
This baby and protect you and love you. And it's like,
but it's just like,
it's a baby.
Jacob's a pedophile now.
Jacob's a pedophile now.
That is like, we're not gonna get canceled for that because that's just hard truth. We're not saying anything that isn't like just heavily implied by the nature of this.
I heard about this a little bit, but I didn't think it was like that.
That it was, they love at first sighted on a baby.
They loved at first sighted on a fucking baby.
And it's like,
Why? Did he pick that? Or did it just happen to him?
Apparently it's supposed to be like that's his soulmate, but it's like,
it's a fucking baby.
That's a baby.
You can't. Babies only know like two things, and that's cry and poop.
That's all they know.
That's all they know. How could they make a choice like that?
It's just I don't know. It's supposed to be like it's the red string of fate on them, you know?
You're taking their agency away, and the baby's fucking agency is because they're not even sentient yet because they're a fucking baby, and their head has to be underdeveloped to fit through someone's vagina. Is that their brain is so underdeveloped that it's literally just like, mom, poop, food, mom.
Give attention.
Give attention. And like Jacob is like, this is my life's purpose.
This is my soulmate.
This is my soulmate.
And the fucked up thing is that this
baby.
means that he's going to be around this kid all the time, in love with it,
You know,
giving it all this affection.
I'm just gonna say something very without context, but I'm gonna try my best. You know that most like pedophile charges are typically from a relative or
Or a
friend
close
or a
associate.
close
Yes.
associate of the family, and not from strangers, and that you should
Is
tell
not
you should tell your
yeah.
kid, don't be careful around strangers. Be careful around Uncle Jim. You know, like,
You know, it's just, and the fucked thing is that means that yes,
he's going to groom at Renesmee.
he is going to groom Renesmee. That is the inevitability of the imprinting,
And this is the happy ending.
and this is the happy ending. They cut her.
I hate
There was
this.
like. There was a point. There was a red herring in this book, in the book version, where there was just this random girl that like Jacob went on like a lonely drive and then met this girl like in the middle of fucking nowhere while he was like stewing in his thoughts about the fact that Bella was gonna die. And she doesn't amount to anything. He does not get with her in any way. I can't even
No,
remember
I'm
her
sorry.
name.
I got a baby to fuck.
No, he imprints on a baby.
God, I hate it.
It's the worst.
Man, I like Jacob. What the fuck?
This tanked his character entirely.
What happened to Jacob that wanted to fix a bike?
What happened to New Moon Jacob was the best Jacob, and every other Jacob has pretty much been a downward spiral.
Well, it's like, how do I get people to want Edward and Bella together? Let's make Jacob a pedophile.
Well, let's first make Jacob like force himself onto Bella, and then when that doesn't work, yeah, let's just make him a pedophile and want to fuck Edward and Bella's daughter.
Oh my god, imagine the fucking conversation that's gonna be for like.
Oh, part 2 is gotta be.
Wait, does he say that to them?
Yes, we're gonna have to have that conversation come part 2.
Ah!
Oh boy.
I don't like this.
I don't. Oh, it's the worst.
I don't
And we
like
still got like another
pedophilia.
like
I
10 or 20 minutes left of this movie, or is this another half hour?
The fucking wolves show up and they go fight the wolves, and they're outnumbered. And
Esme does a pounce.
Esme pounces a wolf, and everyone's hitting each other, and they do parkour up a tree, and Jacob tries to break up the fight, and he's like, "No, stop!" And then Leah's, or one of the wolves, is like, "Jacob imprinted on someone. That means that this conflict between us is over."
They can't hurt the person that Jacob imprinted on.
Yes.
I think he outright says that he imprints on Renee, that he imprinted on the baby, and it's like this is like our most absolute law. We can't break this. It's like, guys,
Jacob's a pedophile. We need to go.
Jacob's a pedophile.
We need to go.
You could kill him.
We need to go. Jacob's a pedophile. Let's just stop, guys. Let's turn around. So the
They just
werewolves
leave.
leave because Jacob's a pedophile, thus saving the day.
And then we get
We see some mountains.
you see some mountains, and then we get to the resurrection scene.
Bella's on morphine and she's still pretty dead, but like her vampire powers awaken and she gets another brain blast, and her body fills back out to normal. And
she
hair,
does like all these flashbacks.
She does all these flashbacks, and like her hair goes back to normal too. And she's
I think in one of the flashbacks, it's when she was like a kid, and like we see Charlie
has
without
no mustache, and it's like, ah!
This movie is doing horrible things to us. It is giving us like CGI babies, pedophilia, Charlie with a mustache. Nothing is okay here.
Bella wakes up with red eyes, and then we cut to credits, and then we do credits for a little bit, and then the Venturas,
The Volturi.
The Venturas get a letter from Carlisle.
Yeah, they get a letter from Carlisle, and they kill off their human like assistant because she
got bad grammar.
She misspelled it. Yeah, they spelled Carlisle without the S, and that is reason to just fucking execute her.
And
for
that's
her
the
crime.
movie, and I wish I didn't watch it.
We gotta also talk about how the dude on the left was really tired.
The dude on the left was like, oh,
Collins.
Colin.
That was. I can't remember his name.
Left vampire. Like
Caius Marcus, whichever one he is.
Caius Marcus.
I think it's Marcus.
Caius Marcus.
Or maybe it's Caius. I don't remember which one is which.
Caius Marcus. one
of
name.
them is Marcus. One of them is Caius. I have forgotten
and who's
both
the
of
middle
them.
one?
Aro.
Aro.
And oh. Yeah, and that's the end of the movie. They're setting up that the Volturi are like going to go after the Cullens after they find out that they've turned Bella, and it's like I still want what I want, and we're gonna get it.
I want to go to the wedding.
I want to go to the wedding. It's like the wedding was already, so
I want another
don't
wedding.
But that was New Moon, or that was not New Moon. That was Breaking Dawn
Breaking
Part
Dawn,
1.
Part 1 of a two-parter involving pedophilia. They say a saying that I hear a lot is the worst thing than bad is indifference. But I didn't feel indifferent to this movie. I was upset.
You felt indifferent to the first half, and then it decided to upset you towards the latter half.
I don't like what they did with Jacob. That's real fucked up and weird.
That is real messed up.
I can't think of any context that would be like, hey,
this is okay.
This is okay. I don't care if it's like 1,000-year-old goddess in the form of like a 12-year-old body, or fucking a fully grown woman with the mind of a fucking 2-year-old. Like,
no, she has the mind of a fully grown woman, but the body of a 2-year-old. Or whatever, or fucking.
I don't care what variation. Like, you are fucking a child.
That is a child, and I don't.
That is a child.
I think it's that. I think the idea is that she is going to rapidly age and then eventually stop aging at some point. This is in the books. I may have spoiled a bit of Part 2, but fuck it.
Why?
But this is also just not okay.
But I don't even care about intelligence. There's like emotionally developed children.
There's emotional development. There's the fact that this kid is obviously going to be groomed by Jacob.
Groomed by Jacob and possibly Edward and Bella to be okay with this. And imagine the conversations you'd have if you sat down with other people at a Denny's and just go, "This is my daughter. This is the guy fucking my daughter.
This is her boyfriend.
This is her boyfriend.
He used to be
17-year age gap.
He dated me in high school.
And she's 3.
It is so much wrong with how this all went down.
I'm so ick, man. I'm so icked out.
He is absolutely disgusted. We spent a good chunk of the movie making miscarriage jokes, and yet I think the movie might have been more disgusting than us, just by dropping uncritical pedophilia on us.
We typically film a little bit like just after we watch, but because of the timing, I had to wait about an hour or two before we started recording.
So he had time to sit on this.
I had time to sit on this, and I had time to forget some things, and I didn't forget some things. I just hated every fucking moment of it.
The thing that he didn't forget was what they did here with this imprinting shit.
I don't like it.
They set up like it's gonna be that she's gonna get that, like Jacob and Leia are gonna get together because they're both like kind of dealing with the same issue of being with someone that they can't have, or wanting to be with someone who they can't have.
But there's so many ways out of that situation that would have character growth besides, so I'm gonna fucking make out with your like 3-year-old.
There were so many other options that were presented, and then just they were red herrings, basically. Thrown away red herrings.
I still would have been fine with fucking Jacob being the actual father of the child, but Edward and Bella raising it in marriage and unlife.
That would have at least worked out a little bit better.
It worked out a little bit better, and also Jacob wouldn't imprint onto his own daughter, unless fucking Stephanie Meyer's...
No, I'd rather not think that idea ever.
I don't think she's that much of a fucking freak, so...
No, I don't think Stephanie. I think Stephanie Meyer is capable of drawing a line,
There's
but
a line.
she drew it a little. She drew it a little too far from where she needed to.
Yeah,
with this.
that line's a little ways out, man.
Let's get on to looking over the soundtrack.
Well, I mean, what did you think of the movie? Because I was bitching.
Okay, the first half is fucking boring, man. It is an
It really
absolute
felt like
slog.
they were so desperate to get this over the finish line and to justify it being 2 parts.
They padded the fuck out of this.
It's
And this covers the first 2/3. This is 2/3 of the book. There's it's in acts.
Yeah.
It's in acts, but actually that might not be in length, but this is the first 2 acts of the book.
Yeah, but
But
I swear to God, they could have just had a 2-hour and 40-minute movie. And yeah, I would bet it would be 2 hours and 40 minutes, but I feel like you could get everything in there.
It would be over in a week.
It'd be over in one session.
We might need 2 sessions for it, but 2 sessions of actually watching, because good Lord, it would be very long. We need an intermission. But it would be done in one review.
It would be done. We would be done. And this started a trend, if I recall.
No, this was riding a trend, because Harry Potter did this too.
Harry Potter did this before.
But Harry Potter had shit to do with those 2 movies.
Harry Potter had the Deathly Hallows, and that was not the longest book, but it was dense, I would say.
It was the finale, it was dense, and it was justified.
They had shit to do. And, say what you will about the Harry Potter movies and their quality, because it varies a lot.
And the books, yeah.
And the books. You get good sections and bad sections.
But at least the logic of splitting Harry Potter into 2 Deathly Hallows into 2 movies, it's there, but it does not. No, the same logic does not apply to Breaking Dawn. But the second half,
didn't they do this to the Hunger Games also?
The Hunger Games, I think, also did, but I feel like that one might also justify itself.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I know nothing about the Hunger Games.
Divergent does this, and I doubt that it justifies itself. I
swear to God, it's just an attempt to make more money.
I think the Maze Runner also did this.
Oh yeah, we're watching the Maze Runner too, baby.
Oh my God, the Maze Runner. We might not watch the Hunger Games. Actually, we might watch the Hunger Games. Being good does not preclude it from being.
I've heard good things about the Hunger Games.
Being good would not preclude it from being a teen drama.
I made fun of the author a couple of times in my past, but I've heard that it's actually a pretty decent book and a pretty decent movie.
But if the first half of this movie is boring, the second half is infuriating.
Oh yeah.
And it's not just the pedophilia. That's a big part of it. But it's also just the
you know how you ever have a running total in your mind, and every time you like something, your little opinion meter goes up?
And this is where your opinion meter slammed down a guy's arm being dropped on an arm wrestling match.
Oh yeah. It just went boom. I'm like, nope.
Boom.
I hate it.
It's not just the pedophilia, and I said that again, but
context.
It's also just the sheer stupidity of the cast throughout this part, where they are just incapable of processing.
100-year-old vampires plus. A whole coven of vampires, and they all have special abilities, and they're all supposed to be very wise and know a lot about vampire lore and vampire lifestyle and shit.
And also one of them's a doctor.
And one of them's a fucking doctor, and they graduated hundreds of times through high school in different years.
They have gone through so much that, and should have much accumulated knowledge.
They've lived so much life that you think their wisdom would be fucking sage or the living reincarnation of Rasputin levels of wisdom, but no.
They can't process the idea that a vampire, or that a baby that was born of the sperm of a vampire
might be a vampire.
Might carry vampiric traits and therefore need blood to live, especially in its early days of developing inside of the womb of its mother, and then proceed to administer the blood late into the third trimester. And I know it's a rapidly advancing third trimester, but late into the third trimester, with not an IV drip that they have in their house,
Literally, like, right next to them as they discuss this.
but through a goddamn plastic cup with a straw.
Styrofoam cup with a straw, and they're just like, hey, can you sip on this throughout the day?
Through the stomach, where it is most likely going to be utterly destroyed or thrown up.
By the
Or
stomach
both.
acid or thrown up. Because your body doesn't want blood in places it doesn't have blood.
And it's just I just like, my God, like, I think that at some points I stopped caring because I was so blinded by my rage at the stupidity of their treatment of Bella here
Oh,
in terms of
fuck.
like medical care.
You guys are like the sole reason Bella died. This is a
she would have turned
malpractice.
down.
This is a malpractice.
I think at one point they say it killed Bella, and I put it in my notes.
Cullens
I'd
killed
say
Bella.
medical malpractice killed Bella.
I don't know. She just said her stomach hurt, so we just gave her like some ginger ale.
No, because that makes sense. That makes sense on a mild level. It also would probably make sense if she actually had salmonella, probably.
We just gave her some ginger ale, and then her chest burst. Her child just came to life. And we were like, shit, maybe we should get some Pepto.
Get her some Tums
Get her some Tums.
to fight the acid in its system.
This acid for blood. This movie sucked.
This movie fucking sucks. Let's
The
go
other
to the
movies were just
soundtrack.
dull.
The other movies were dull with like entertaining moments. I was barely entertained by the fight scenes in these movies.
So we got
Or this
Love
movie.
Will Take You by Angus and Julia Stone.
Let's see.
It Will
I see
Rain.
another.
It Will Rain by, I'm doing, because the first one's the end credit scenes, which is end tapes by the Joy Formidable.
Oh, okay.
That plays in the end credits. But Love Will Take You by Angus and Julia Stone, and then It Will Rain by Bruno Mars.
Oh, hey, Bruno Mars.
This is when
Cool.
Bruno Mars started being popular.
Yeah.
We got Turning Page by Sleeping at Last.
Never heard of that one.
From Now On by The Features. These names are a lot less, I would say,
Like noticeable. Once you got Bruno Mars, it's just like, man, who are all these folks?
No, but like what I mean is, like, remember the soundtrack for fucking the first Twilight, and they got Paramore,
yeah, but there was like a lot of Paramore and Muse
and like all these other bands that we.
And Tom York was there.
Tom York, but now we're just like, hey, remember Christina Perri?
I mean, Christina Perri and 1,000 Years. I think 1,000 Years also shows up on part 2, unless it was just. Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be in part 2 as well. I think it might be
by Theophilus London. I didn't mean it by the Bell Brigade. Sister Rosetta by the Noisettes.
It's the 2011 version.
2011 version. Northern Lights by Cider Sky. Flightless Bird, American Mouth, parentheses, wedding version.
Oh, so it was Iron Wine who wait, Flightless Bird, American Mouth. Wasn't that on the first fucking soundtrack?
I think so.
Hold on. Soundtrack.
Requiem on Water by Imperial Mammoth.
That's a name.
Cold by Aqualung, not that one, and Lucy Schwartz.
It was!
It was!
Flightless Bird, American Mouth. I think that might have been the song that played when they danced at the fucking prom. Whatever it was.
Ah, okay.
So, okay.
Lavura by Mia Maestro.
I will give the Twilight movies this credit. It did something that fucking Ernest Cline couldn't do.
Yeah.
And I will fucking one day get to that branch. But I feel like we're going pretty long on the episode, so.
I don't care. It's a Twilight episode.
Okay, that's true.
He's go long.
But you said Lavera, It's Going to Rain by Mia Maestro.
Yeah.
And Love, Death, Birth
by Carter Burwell.
And also there was like apparently some bonus tracks.
There are some bonus tracks, but I'm mostly trying to focus on like stuff that was in the movie.
Yeah.
I guess I can look over the fucking bonus tracks. Let me check.
I don't know. It's like free.
There was a lot of score.
Yeah, there's also a lot of score stuff. That's its own like
a Drug by
separate CD.
Hard-Fi, Turning a Page, Sleeping at Last, Eclipse, All Yours by Kevin Teasley.
Yeah. Okay, so
I think they were just mostly proud that they got Bruno Mars on a soundtrack.
oh yeah, that was a pretty good get at that time. So to wrap things up, let me do my Ready Player 2 rant.
All right.
So in the early chapters of Ready Player 2, the sequel to Ready Player 1 by Ernest Cline, which would become the Steven Spielberg movie, not the Ready Player 2, that's still in development.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. And maybe they'll fix this in the movie, but they establish, or like Wade establishes early on, that the song that he played when he and Samantha made love was Space Age Love Song by A Flock of Seagulls.
Hey,
and that became
at
their
least that's
song.
kind of a deep cut.
That's a deep cut, or deep cut is even it was their second hit.
It was
but,
a single, but it wasn't a big hit.
It wasn't. It didn't have the memory of Iran so far away. But getting on to the point. So he basically says it's their song, and then when they break up, he can't listen to it anymore. That it brings such a painful thought of Samantha back to him that he's just like, I can't listen to it anymore. And then, in the book, Wade and Samantha, Artemis, whatever you want to call her, they reconcile,
Artemis.
and they get married. And the description of the marriages, or of their dance together, is they do a Bollywood dance number.
Dinga 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 dinga.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's just like you had this whole thing about Space Age Love Song.
So play the song. Play.
So why would it not be like, yeah, their first dance together as a married couple was to their song?
So it's their
Ernest,
song.
Ernest, that's the easiest setup and payoff you could have had.
Yeah.
And he fucking dropped the ball on it.
Fucked it up.
I don't know. Maybe the movie they'll actually fucking figure that out. If they don't, I'm gonna be double pissed. It's like, you guys had a shot.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But would be surprised if they still fucked it up.
Yeah, but they'll include like whatever meme game is popular at the time. Like there's gonna be an Among Us guy in the next one. Oh my god, Among Us!
Oh my god. Well, I don't know if Among Us is the big meme game these days. What is the?
Well, I mean,
what is the big
Steven
meme
Spielberg.
game? What is the big meme game nowadays? Is it Fortnite still?
Fortnite?
Are
they gonna do a Fortnite dance at his wedding?
Oh my god, they might do a Fortnite dance.
Wade hitting the.
All right. Now that you've had a little mini rant at the end of your Breaking Dawn review that you weren't expecting, let's go to our usual plugs of where you can find us.
If you still want us to be a podcast in your rotation, you can find us on YouTube at THIAsh/@TheseHotIdiots.
You can also find us on Spotify and anywhere else you can get a podcast, although who knows, we might get pulled from Spotify. We might.
Maybe.
We don't know. And also, you can find and yell at us at our Tumblrs, Ash Nightshade and Mega Fighter Free for free.
Linkin Park's back.
Linkin Park is back though, so maybe listen to their new song, "The Emptiness Machine," to wash the taste of our terrible jokes out of your mouth or your ears, I guess.
Don't be a pedophile.
Also, don't do that.
If you were thinking about being a pedophile and watching this podcast, don't be a pedophile. It's not worth it.
It's not a good idea.
It's a bad look. You won't be allowed.
That'll be it. Yeah.
I'm tired. Well, see you for Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Oh my god, yeah, we're gonna do. That's the thing. Unlike, I think we settled it on the episode previously, we're gonna do the Breaking Dawn movies back to back.
Mostly because it's Part 2, and I'm not gonna remember any of the shit that happened in Part 1 if we wait 3 months.
So next week, Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Please, Damon, Stefan, please come back.
Please, we miss you guys.
We miss you guys. I miss your weird eyebrows.
I miss your eyebrow game, and I want to see what happens when Stefan becomes the Ripper.
Yeah, I want to see what happens when Stefan becomes a Ripper. I'm gonna go.
Bye.
I'm gonna go pee and then cry in the shower. Then I'm gonna go pee in the shower and cry. See you next week. Fuck.